That sure is a lot of onions. Well, Kelly, we're heading out to Mono Lake with the canoe just like you wanted.
Yep.
It looks like it's going to be a nice day.
Oh, it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah. And pretty much the season is over. The kids are in school, and it's a Monday.
Yes.
So we might have most of Mono Lake all to ourselves. We'll just have to wait and see.
That'd be nice.
I knew it, Kelly. I knew that this lake is subject to those high winds.
Yeah, I don't want to be out there if we get high winds.
Especially if we get way too far out.
I highly recommend being in some sort of watercraft coming out here. Different perspective.
Take the turn off for the South Tufa Towers and go over to Navy Beach. Make this right. Go down to Navy Beach. Looks like a real pretty morning this morning, Kelly.
Oh, it's nice out here. Nice and still.
Look at that little bit of snow over there towards June Lake area in the distance. Won't be long till those mountains will be completely covered in snow.
That's true.
There's the sign, Navy Beach. It's gonna drop on the tailgate. Okay. We're the only vehicle in the parking lot, and we may be the only boat on the lake today. And here's where the Navy Beach parking is. There's a place there if there's restrooms, facilities. And we're going to go over here and look at these interesting little pillars. They're like miniature little pillars. They might remind us of those pillars we saw over Lake Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was so fascinated by those. But these are like the miniature ones. Let's go take a look. There's the tufa towers in the distance. Lots of migratory waterfowl on this lake. We'll just take that little trail, that nature trail, and we'll go take a look. Oh, that blackbird's a little bit upset. She wouldn't have a nest this time of year, though. Sure is close, though. We're on the little nature path, being very careful where we're walking. This is all habitat that is crucial. We get visitors here, so we got to be careful where we walk. We're going to stay on the path. Now the sign there itself says, "Fragile area, stay on the trail." Oh, here's some of those right by the sign.
Oh, cool.
I remember filming these last year.
Yeah.
This one. See these? Oh, they're like the miniature little pillars. It's like a mini city. It's like Petra. It's like Petra in Jordan. See the little towers? You have to use your imagination. They're small. But the pillars over at Lake Crowley are similar, but they're about 30 feet tall, and these are only about a foot tall. Really interesting. To me, it kind of looks like some kind of a, old temple or something, or ancient city or something, ruins, in miniature. This is a big migratory stop for a lot of waterfowl throughout the Western Hemisphere. And most of the seagulls, I believe, on the West Coast raise their babies out here in these islands. And luckily, the water level is high enough to keep the predators like the coyotes from walking out to some of those islands and getting all the birds. But it's been a big battle for them to make sure that there's enough water in Mono Lake to provide for the wildlife. It's an ongoing issue. This is another nature trail on the other side. We're gonna poke around, see if we find any more of these miniature pillars. Oh, there's one right there. Already. That's impressive. Look at that blackbird right on top of that sand tufa.
Gosh, that tufa is big.
Yeah. They still look like little miniature skyscrapers to me. It's my imagination running wild.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a whole city over there. You can see how big they are with the blackbird on top. Let's take a closer look.
Look at these delicate spring sculptures. It's got that calcium-rich spring water that reacts with the Mono Lake's carbonate-rich water, and it percolates and causes these tufa towers. And then, of course, when the water washes away, you can see them.
They sure are interesting. Let's go take a closer look at some of these other ones.
They say they're pretty fragile.
Yeah.
Look how tall this one's, almost as tall as me.
Yeah. Look at these. How neat. Interesting. That one is almost as tall as you, Kelly.
Yeah, look, just for perspective.
Right. If you use your imagination, you can imagine some type of a structure, maybe a building, whatever suits your fancy. One's got a hole right through it. My imagination can run wild pretty easy with these. You can see how big this formation is as Kelly's walking past them. Look at on the top. Look at that.
The harder stuff is on top.
Yeah.
Look at these. They look just like those columns at the Lake Crawley. They even have a little cave right there.
It looks like some little miniature person would live there.
Yeah,
Look, they've got the columns, and there's it's a
no?
double decker. Look, there's the second floor. There's the main entrance. And look at this one next to it. It's got like it's like there's a a battlement or something, or just like a wall that goes around the raised city in miniature or something,
Mm-hmm.
And then you can look across and just see the beautiful blue water of the lake. Feel kind of spoiled today that we have the whole lake to ourselves and we can get out here. And it's nice that we're able to film this video for everybody. So everybody at home in other parts of the country, even in other parts of the world. I had a subscriber from Spain contact me that I met out here, and they can take a look at this too today and see all this beautiful natural views of the lake.
We're going to go get in the canoe now and start our lake adventure.
There's a lot of those tufa formations just over the side. Oh, I can see the brine shrimp. If you look real close, look at them all. Neat. If you look real close, you can see all the brine shrimp floating in the water. That's what the birds like to eat. Look at them all.
We think that's an osprey nest on the top of that tufa. There's the osprey nest, and Douglas is going to try and get us close to it and just kind of more or less go around it. They're not here right now because they mostly are hatching out in the spring, but they don't actually fish in this lake. They fish in Lundy Lake, which is not too far from here. So they fly over there and fish, and then they live here. If you look close, you can see some of these tufa towers growing underneath the water. Look at the size of those things. Pretty cool. There's some tufa underneath the water here too. We're going to check out this small tufa right ahead, see what's up here. Oh, there's one couple of them underneath the water. Oh yeah, several of them. You could see that right there.
Look at that one. Wow.
That one's getting real close to the surface there.
Those are just the tops of them.
Yeah, they're just, it's barely the top, tip of the iceberg.
Get it? Okay.
Literally, the tip of the iceberg here. This is pretty cool.
We're not sure if we want to go all the way out to the main island or not. So we're just kind of doing a reconnaissance. It's really interesting, the brine shrimp. There's just myriads of them, and they go down several feet into the water as far as you can see. Kelly, can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Can you wake me up when we get there? And can you row a little faster, please? Thank you. We're leaving the shore behind, getting out farther and farther into the middle of Mono Lake. We're really enjoying our time on Mono Lake. So glad you could all join us. It's sure beautiful out here. There's a low-flying airplane going over the lake. That's odd. There's over by Mono Mills. And as we swing around, there's Panem Crater in the distance, right there. And you can see all the Sierra Mountains. We're about a third of the way out to the main island. And we decided not to go out to the main island. We could go there today, but instead we're gonna go along the shore to where Rush Creek empties into the lake and see if we can find that. And Rush Creek comes out of Grant Lake. We're quite a ways from shore, and we're kind of aiming for that mountain peak so we make a straight line across the lake. Kind of like when you have to plow a field, you pick out a point. That's what we're doing. So pleasant and quiet out here. You know, Kelly, being this a Monday, we may be one of the only boats out in this whole lake.
It's a good possibility.
Yeah.
As far as I can see.
Yeah, as far as we can see. There might be another kayak or a canoe or something out here, but we don't see any. Coming up on some seagulls. we're seeing hundreds and hundreds of shorebirds on the surface. Some just took off flying. See if I can catch a picture of them. Coming up on all these seagulls.
Okay, Douglas is going to try and take us up the river just a little bit. So we're just doing this a little slow because we don't really want to scare the birds. Okay, this is Rush Creek, and it's coming toward us, and it's emptying out into Moto Lake.
I don't see any brine shrimp anymore.
Nope, I don't see a one. Not one brine shrimp. They must be way out.
It must be fresh water.
Yeah, it's too fresh.
Talk about, that's one of the great things about this canoe is it only needs about 6 inches of water.
Yep, it only needs about 6 inches of water.
Right up it. It's cool, huh?
Yep, we're going right up this bend up Rush Creek. Go to the right.
Places that people don't normally see at all.
Yeah, this is something that most people aren't going to see because it's hard to get to unless you're in a canoe. I imagine there has been some, but not too many people would get out here. We don't know if we're going to make this or not. It's deep on this end, but it looks pretty shallow on the other end, so we're just going to try it and see what happens. Ooh, lots of rocks in here and shrubs. All right, we're going backwards now. Decided to go with the current.
Kelly's got us pulled up on this sandbar for now.
Okay, Douglas is going to do kind of a little portage here, but he's going to do it in the water because the sand is a little bit too grippy. So we're going to see if we can get past that little ridge there. Looks like he made it. Doug is doing a little bit of a portage with me in the boat because he can't leave me behind, and I'm not really dressed for it. I'm gonna have to change my shoes or something. Okay, Doug's getting back in the boat because it is too deep for him to be walking through, so he's getting back in the boat. Okay, we're coming up on a sandbar. I'm not sure if we're going to take a break or what here, but we're going to find out here in just a minute.
I think that's about the end of the line, everybody. There's a big, deep hole right here. And that's about as far as I want to go today. Well, this is about as far as we want to go today. And this is Rush Creek emptying into Mono Lake. Up ahead there somewhere, up there by those mountains, is Grant Lake, which is one of our favorite lakes to go to. And this little creek comes down.
Boy, the wind is really picked up right now, and I'm really feeling it in this boat. Wow. All the sunlight, too.
We've got our canoe wedged on the bank of the creek, and we scurried up into this willow patch, and we're gonna go up here on the hill and kind of get an idea where we're at. It's a really tricky spot. It's not too bad, it's mostly sagebrush, but there are some wild roses in here, in amongst the willows. That's that deep hole that I was mentioning. Kelly's gonna wait for us by the bank, and I'm gonna go scurry up there and see what we can see. Look how thick all these willows are. It's not too bad, but the dead ones are kind of rough. And there's some thorny wild roses mixed in here. Let's see. Ah. Almost out of this creek bottom, up to the side of this hill. Let's see how we're gonna get through this. There's really no easy way. A little steeper than I anticipated. Whew. There we are. There's Kelly waving at us down there. It's like a little delta where the waters come in. It's made a big patch of willows. There's an abandoned structure there. Looks like some type of a house. See that building? Luckily, the canoe is still where it's supposed to be. We're going to travel on down the creek.
Okay, now we're leaving.
Keep an eye out for rocks. Should I go to the left?
Right now, go to the right, I would say. It's going to be real shallow right here.
Right or left?
Right.
The right?
It's real shallow, but there's a rock coming up here on your left, so it's going to be, oh gosh, make it up. Ow. All right, well, you're figuring it out.
Just made it.
Yeah.
Catch my breath.
Okay, well, we got a nice deep spot right there, but you're going to need to choose one
or left?
side. I'd say right.
Okay.
Yeah, but, oh. Well, didn't hit them. Good. Yeah. If you can get to the left, do. All right.
It's super tight.
Yes, it
We're
is.
gonna hit some rocks and then some little ones. Okay, we're probably gonna scrape the bottom.
Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Did you make it?
I don't know, but let's try it.
I'll jump out if we have to.
Okay. If we get past this rocks, nope,
Yep.
that's it.
Pull us out.
Okay.
Are we having fun, Kelly?
Yes, yeah, we're having fun. It's a little bit, you know.
It's a good adventure, isn't
Yeah, it is. It's a good adventure.
it? Okay, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
We're gonna jump in here as it goes by.
Tip us.
Whoa, I just made it.
Yeah.
Ah. I can't believe we made that.
I can't believe we did either. I was thinking that we're going to run into something here, but we didn't.
I can see them on the lake from here.
Oh, yeah, I see the birds.
Off the rocks, so.
Well, there's the birds. We're almost out. Well, we're going to sneak up on them again.
I tried not to scare them when I picked up my paddle.
Yeah. Well, that's where we just came down, and we're back into Mono Lake. We're going to find us a beach over here real soon.
This is the lunch spot that we picked. It was fairly easy to slide through, and we avoided a couple of smaller rocks. And we're just south of the inlet of Rush Creek. I enjoyed that little adventure going up that creek.
I did too.
Yeah.
That was a fun part of it.
And finding that abandoned house up in there. It looked like it was about a mile away though. Maybe another time we'll try to check it out. Here's our lunch spot, everybody. So Kelly, what do we have for lunch today?
Well, we're having sandwiches, and we've got some pinwheel wraps, and I did make some cookies.
Oh, there's the cookies.
Yeah, they're the Heath Bar cookies.
Heath Bar cookies. We can sure use those extra calories today on this when we're paddling. Hey, Rick and Casey in Castaic, California. I'm wearing that hat that you sent me today. It's starting to warm up a little bit, so I switched out for my stormy chromer, and thank you much. Well, we're breaking camp from our lunch spot, and surprisingly, there was no bugs at all, and it doesn't smell like salty, bad or anything. It's actually really fresh smelling. And surprisingly, we noticed there's no wind. There's no wind, and there's no tide. It's not the ocean. And if you look, see that feather moving along like that? That's not the wind pushing it, and it's not a tide. It's not the ocean. That's that little Rush Creek coming in where those birds are over there. It's enough water to push the water along in the lake. We thought that was interesting. We noticed that while we were eating lunch. Already got some fall color on the trees. That's where Rush Creek empties out into Mono Lake. So Kelly, what did the rockhound find this time?
Just some big chunks of obsidian.
Wow, look at that. Oh, back in the day, you could make all kinds of spear points and arrowheads and all kinds of stuff. That stuff is so sharp. It really is. I know, I've put that in my pocket before, the smaller ones, and it just tears up my pants.
Cuts up my clothes. Now we're done with lunch. Off we go.
So nice and quiet out here. Love it. This beach has a lot of sand and hardly any big rocks at all. It'd be easy to beach a small boat like a canoe here. There's another rock in front of that rock that's underneath the water that we had to go around. We're getting a little bit closer to the main South Tufa Tower formations. You can see as we make our approach.
Look, there's another osprey nest.
Looks to be vacant at the moment.
Yep, it definitely is. Going right over the top of a tufa. Yeah, there it is. Lots of it under the water.
Can we fit through here?
Oh, look at all of this tufa underneath. To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left, quick. Okay. Some of it was protruding out of the water. We don't want to run into that. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Doug's going to try and squeak us through this little passageway here.
It's tight.
Yeah, there's some ones that are pretty tall. So far we're doing good, but I would be real careful straight ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one that's sticking out here
I
and
see
right
it.
there.
Okay.
Beautiful though.
It's so quiet in here, Kelly.
It really is quiet.
Okay.
Oh, there's another osprey nest on the top of that
Oh,
one.
look, another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the third one. Look,
Yeah.
there's a fourth one right there.
Oh, there is up on the top of that rock. It's kind of mangled up, that one, but you know, it's still there.
That makes 4 nests that we found.
Yeah.
I think they're more amazing up close.
I think they are too. I like the weird shapes is what I like.
It's a good thing we're going in here this time of year because none of those nests have nesting ospreys in them.
No, so we're
to
not
disturb
disturbing them.
Yeah, they're all empty, so. You want to go try to go through these to the right?
Sure.
Okay.
If you use your imagination, you can get some real interesting shapes.
You give me a heads up if any of them are poking up too shallow.
Yeah, there's one that's deadhead in between those two rocks that is sticking up, so we need to be cautious of that one.
Can we make it over this?
I would go to the right.
Okay.
Not quickly, but yeah. I still see it's a little shallow right here, but we'll be okay if we go slow. This is pretty neat in this way. And lots of sand and rock and just interesting things to look at.
Can we make it between those rocks?
Yeah, it's looking like we can. I'd go slow just in case there's a surprise rock. There is some rocks to the right.
Okay.
This is just a spooky, kind of interesting place.
Beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Ooh, it's getting shallow. Can we make it or no?
Yeah, you can make it just fine. I'd lean to the right a bit. There's some up there that's a little low. Interesting with the little holes in there.
That bird just jumped out of one.
Yeah, that's why I noticed it.
Really peaceful out here. Well, everybody, we're sure glad you came along with us and allowed us to show you some of the great sights on Mono Lake. We thought it was really scenic and fantastic and interesting, and we're glad you came along with us. We'll see you next time.